Welcome to this week's edition of OutTV Atlanta.
We're glad to see you back. We missed you last week. We hope you missed us. We had a small cable glitch, but we're back, and we've got back-to-back shows tonight, one on the heels of another. And we've got our new staff correspondent, Dawn Woods. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
You were on last week's show.
Yes, I was.
But they won't see that until after this show.
All right.
And what's on tap for tonight, Joey?
Well, right now we're at Piedmont Park, where this weekend on Sunday there were 15,000 people here participating in the AIDS Walk Atlanta event. It was excellent, so we'll be seeing some excerpts from there.
And I was at a very interesting breakfast with AIDS Atlanta and Dr. Jim Curran, the famous AIDS researcher.
Oh, wow. We had a lot of fun entertainment pieces. We went to Eddie's Attic and saw 6 Reasons to Go Back into the Closet.
Uh-oh.
It was really a bunch of comedians. It was great.
That was tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
We are going to see Glitter Dome and Queer Stock 2000.
We also had 2 great meetings last week on Wednesday and Thursday night with the Greater Atlanta Business Coalition and the Stonewall Bar Association. We had some nationally prominent speakers that joined us.
So stay tuned. It's all coming right after this. Club 1, voted Savannah's #1 dance club. At 1 Jefferson Street, downtown Savannah. Come see us. We're hot. Georgia Equality Project and OutTV Atlanta remind all gay citizens to get out and vote on November 7th. Remember, your vote, all citizens' votes count in America. Vote Tuesday, November 7th.
This is Terrence Caldwell for OutTV Atlanta. On October 12th, we attended the Stonewall Bar Association's 6th annual awards dinner. The Stonewall Bar is the association of gay, lesbian, transgendered, and bisexual attorneys in Georgia. Senator Ford is receiving an award this evening. Can you tell us about that?
He is. Senator Ford's receiving our very first Stonewall Community Ally Award, and we're giving him that in recognition of his amazing leadership in getting the hate crimes bill passed last year. He put together an amazing coalition of individuals who worked very hard to get that hate crimes bill passed, and we're very thankful and want to recognize that effort.
I see. And also Kathy Woolard and her partner, one of our local heroes.
Right. Kathy Woolard, our city councilwoman, is getting an award tonight because she and her partner, well, technically she intervened in the case of City of Atlanta versus John Oxendine, the insurance commissioner. John Oxendine was fighting the domestic partnership benefits that City of Atlanta had passed, or the City Council had passed. And Kathy Woolard, since she has a life partner and is a City of Atlanta employee technically, had the right to come in and intervene as a plaintiff. And she took up that cause and really put a personal face on domestic partnership issues, which was great.
Absolutely. I'm here with Evan Wolfson, Senior Staff Attorney of Lambda Legal Defense and Education Fund. And how are you, Evan? Good to see you.
I'm happy to be back in Atlanta.
Thanks for talking with us. I wanted to ask you about the Boy Scout decision.
Okay.
Can you tell us what the Supreme Court said in their ruling?
Right, well, by a vote of 5-4, the Rehnquist majority of the Supreme Court said that the Boy Scouts organization has a right to discriminate, but they didn't say that discrimination is right. And so what we're looking to now is what people can do around the rest of the country to express their dissatisfaction and their disagreement with this discrimination and to channel their support from the one program that discriminates to all the other major youth programs that don't discriminate, like the Girl Scouts, the Campfire Boys and Girls, the 4-H Club, and all these other groups that recognize that all kids need to be included.
And what can we do in our communities to send that message to the Boy Scouts that we don't agree with their anti-gay policies?
Well, I mean, all across the country, people are speaking up, and this is not just gay people protesting the Boy Scouts. This is non-gay people and companies and corporations and funders and United Ways who don't agree with this discrimination. And what we can do is go to these companies, go to these corporations, go to the United Way, go to the city, go to the schools, and ask them to speak up and show them how they can make a difference in support of all kids. Urge them to channel their support to programs that don't discriminate rather than supporting the only one that does discriminate. we have a real chance to have a difference. Things are changing. Non-gay people are listening. We have to be the ones to go and engage them group by group, person to person, and every one of us has a responsibility to do that. And if people go to the Lambda Legal Defense website, they can find action steps on how to do that.
Dr. James Curran, Dean of the Rollins School of Public Health at Emory University, and one of America's leading AIDS researchers, addressed the AIDS Atlanta Leadership Update hosted this month by Atlanta Gaslight Resources. Dr. Curran is Emory University Professor of Epidemiology and Director of the Emory Atlanta Center for AIDS Research. He began his 30-year career with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. He was an early researcher into HIV and remains committed to finding an AIDS vaccine. In his remarks to the AIDS Atlanta Leadership Gathering, Dr. Curran stressed the need for continued vigilance in AIDS education.
Today in America, we have more people infected with HIV than ever who are living with HIV, and the risk of acquiring HIV is as high as it's ever been for people who engage in unprotected sex. So it's extremely important for people to be aware of the HIV risk and to take AIDS very seriously. It's very hard to see in a country that spends billions of dollars a year on AIDS how this can translate to countries in Africa with 20 to 100 times the size of the problem that we have in this country, to see how there will ever be enough resources to deal with it adequately. I'm convinced that the major goal for HIV in the world has to be the development and testing of a safe and effective vaccine.
Alfred Kennedy, president of the AIDS Atlanta Board of Directors, noted that new AIDS infections are taking their toll in both industrialized and third world nations.
This is not a disease that is conquered by any stretch of the imagination. There is an attitude toward it in many people that says it's manageable, it's curable, I don't have to worry about it, we don't have to do anything about it. That's couldn't be further from the truth. The numbers involving our young people in all segments of our community are staggering. Increasing numbers of people are being infected with this disease. As Dr. Jim Curran just told us here at this breakfast, it is a lifetime disease. There is no cure for it.
Alfred Kennedy, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Hair with attitude, without the attitude. Salon 2000.
Hi, my name is Richard Kaufman. In addition to family medicine, I specialize in the most current treatment of hepatitis C and HIV diseases. Flu shot is available at our office, and remember, you need to take it. You don't ever have to have an appointment to come see us. And remember, your health is our greatest concern.
Hello, I'm attorney Kathy Alterman. I have practiced law in courts all over the state of Georgia, and I understand your particular issues. Let me fight your battles for you. Call me at 404-688-8400. I will fight for you.
We're here in Piedmont Park at AIDS Walk Atlanta 2000.
This is the 10th year for this great event, and Leanne, who are we sponsoring, or who's benefiting?
It raises money for 14 different AIDS organizations around Atlanta.
And AIDS Atlanta's biggest fundraiser.
Exactly.
I think they've raised somewhere about $9 million over the past 10 years or 9 years.
9 years.
Over.
And they're hoping maybe for $1.5 million this year.
That's great.
Huge.
So people still make a pledge. I guess you can still call AIDS Atlanta or the AIDS Walk office.
Yeah, and were you saying there are about 800
There's
companies?
over 800 corporate companies here.
Can you hear these
Corporate
15,000
teams.
people back here?
They're huge.
They're ready to get out of here. They're
And
going to
here
walk
they come.
6.2 miles and then be right back here later.
AIDS Walk Atlanta 2000 was a tremendous success this week in Piedmont Park. This was the 10th annual event of the Benefit Walk, which in the past has raised over $9 million for services to persons infected and affected by HIV/AIDS. As always, the AIDS Walk is the result of collaboration among many committed people. The extraordinary enthusiasm of volunteers, benefiting organizations, and fundraising walkers is truly impressive. I'm here with Kayla and Annie. We're from OutTV. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Now, I want to know how you guys got to volunteer.
We're with the junior troop. Yeah.
Junior troop of the Girl Scouts?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's nice. And what are you passing out here? You've got some
Fruit Links.
those little plum and apricot pieces. You guys are doing such good work.
This is cranberry.
Yummy, that looks good. Hi, I'm here with Congressman John Lewis. Thanks for being here, Congressman.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about what this event means to you?
Well, I feel very strongly that this is one way that I can lend my support to AIDS Walk Atlanta. It is a way to demonstrate that I care, that I want to continue to do something about it. It's not enough to be in Washington and to vote for an appropriation for the Ryan White Act, but I want to use my feet to raise some money.
Tell me what you're doing here today.
I'm actually out here to raise AIDS awareness, and I'm also doing an observation for a project that we're doing in my Gays and Lesbians in Society class.
Oh wow, that sounds like a fun class.
Very, very
What
fun.
kind of assignments do you have?
I have to interview someone who identifies as gay and lesbian, and I.
That would be me. You can interview me.
I will actually, and then I also have to go to a place and do an observation, and I think this would be a great opportunity. And I'm also just having fun learning about things that I don't know about.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here. And Cassandra, what does it mean for you to be here at AIDS Walk?
Well, I'm here to bring awareness that AIDS just doesn't affect Blacks and Latinos, gays and lesbians, but everyone. And by being out here, we're bringing awareness that something needs to be done, that we need to find a cure for this disease, and that the politicians need to get on their ass and do something about it.
You're right about that.
That's right.
Thanks for being here, sister. Thanks very much for being here. Have a great walk.
Okay, we will.
Thank you.
These are the names of all the people that contributed to the cause, and I told them that I'd like to take them on the walk with me, so I had them sign my shirt,
That's great.
and they loved it. It was their way of contributing and being a part of all this.
This year, 15,000 people from all walks of life participated and raised $1.45 million in the fight against AIDS. In honor of National Coming Out Day, Eddie's Attic in Decatur held a gay and lesbian comedy night, hosted by Alyssa Barnett and appropriately titled 6 Reasons to Go Back into the Closet.
It is going to be National Coming Out Day, but I do have a question. Does anybody here know where coming out of the closet came from? Me neither. Who the hell thought that up? Not a gay man? You know, if I had any say on it, I would pick something a little more fascinating, a little more glamorous, like arriving at the Palace Ball. That's a little more zing, a little more zip, a little more flair, right? Arriving at the Palace Ball. I like it much better. Did you hear about Marjorie's husband down the street? Seems he arrived at the Palace Ball. Okay, 6 reasons to go back in the closet. Number 6, I have a much better wardrobe than I used to. Number 5, that's where I keep all my sex toys. Number 4, if Rosie O'Donnell can fit in there, so can I! Number 3, because I don't want to end up wandering aimlessly in the desert like Anne H. Number 2, because the toaster oven has lasted longer than any of my relationships. And the number 1 reason for me to go back in the closet is because Ricky Martin is waiting in there for me.
Youth Pride is an organization founded in 1995 to offer a safe, comfortable space for Atlanta's gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning youth. One of the founders, Stephanie Swan, spoke with us about the first steps of the organization.
For 3 months we had no one come, and we learned quickly that you don't get to youth through adults, you get to youth through youth. So once we actually had a youth coming, she brought about 4 friends, and from there we had consistently about 8 or 12 youth through the first year. So that's really how Youth Pride started. Really since then, we really just taken off. I guess it's been 3 years now since we've hired Linda as our first paid staff person.
Was it difficult starting at that young of age? Did you have any problems?
No, not knock on wood. I guess I'm superstitious, but we have done things so cautiously and carefully, and really been very cautious about who we've pulled into the organization. Very systematically, we've pulled people in from the clergy, from the school systems, different people that then could reach out to their larger institutions and say, hey, this organization, even though it's gay and lesbian, because in some of these institutions they're not so sure about us,
right.
They could say, hey, this is really a good thing here. This is quality youth programming.
The Youth Pride Center provides a variety of free and confidential services to help young people find answers to questions they have and gain access to services they need. The executive director, Linda Ellis, talked with us about the new Decatur facility and the involvement of the youth.
We've been very cautious but very persistent in reaching out to organizations and funders and associations beyond our circle. The average age of our staff and interns would be about 22, 23 years old. And Youth Pride works with folks who are 18 to 24, so they're not alumni yet. They are actually of participant age.
Okay, yay.
Wow, and so they're responsible for the programming and the decisions and working with our youth council. It's important to realize that Youth Pride is the only organization of its kind in the state of Georgia. There is no program that exists in Alabama, in South Carolina, and so in the states around us, we have a lot of youth who find us through the website and develop their initial support through the website, and then make their way to group here. We have youth driving from South Carolina and Alabama to group.
That is so great. You know, this is one of the most empowering advances that the gay and lesbian community has. This is where we get our power from. This is where we educate our kids. And thank you so much for being a part of it. Thanks for all of your work.
Oh, anytime. Come back.
Okay, great.
Hair with attitude, without the attitude. Salon 2000.
Hello, I'm attorney Kathy Alterman. I have practiced law in courts all over the state of Georgia, and I understand your particular issues. Let me fight your battles for you. Call me at 404-688-8400. I will fight for you.
Hi, here we are at the Chamber. We're here for Glitter Dinner tonight. It's my first time ever coming. Here we are in the men's room at the Chamber. Yoo-hoo! This is DJ Tiny Tears. You sure look really familiar.
I have a lot of family in the entertainment business.
You seem pretty talented. I'm sure, yeah, it does run in your family. So tell me about your music.
Well, the music, this is Glitter Dome, the third Friday of every month here at the Chamber, and we play, I play, but everybody's pretty much in on it, but the music is pretty much the best of rock and roll, all facets. Rock and roll pretty much, appeals to everybody. Even if you only like one style, you'll realize you like a whole lot of different types of music. So
Yeah, that's cool. I like to have eclectic.
yeah, and then it kind of primes everybody up for the live show, which you guys, I'm sure, will be covering.
What's your music like?
We're going to do some Van Halen, Culture Club, Aerosmith, and we got a couple other surprises too, so can't spoil it yet.
I can't wait. It sounds like my childhood.
Yeah. We get to play a lot of the songs that most of the guys in the band grew up with, and it's a lot of fun.
How would you describe Glitter Dome to somebody who's never heard of it?
It's the core of what glam rock is about, which is sort of the melding of transgender performance artists with rock and roll and sort of all things in between.
And I guess the next Glitter Dome is Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. I don't know what's the date on it.
It's the 20th. It's the 20th.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Queer Stock's really about empowering queer musicians. I didn't really want it to be this altruistic venture. I really wanted it to be something where, we're being viable musicians. It's really important for me as an artist and other queer artists to not just have Pride once a year. Pride is a wonderful venue for a lot of us. Sometimes we're playing to 50, 100,000 people, but you're also preaching to the converted a lot of times. And with Queer Stock, I really encourage all types of audience, members to show up, like straight. I try to get the boys and the girls, the factions, into the same room and really try to make, the Queer Stock audience of like more of a sample of reality and get straight people to realize that all queer bands aren't doing drag or playing folk music, and that there's this whole area in between, and it really covers everything. We do have the umbrella of all being queer, but there's so much variety under that queer banner that you really can't even tell half the time, what the point is of the night, which is sort of the point of the night. I mean, I'm from, Philadelphia, so up north you kind of can say what you want and do what you want and be really free, and you play in New York and you don't have to worry about a song that you've just sung and walking out to your car kind of at the end of the night. I think Atlanta is sort of like this oasis in the South, especially with the Indigo Girls being down here. It's just way more accepting as a southern city. I'm out, and the straight press has really been fine with it. They always mention Queer Stock or that I'm queer every time they put something in the paper, but I think that's fine. It doesn't offend me. It's definitely a title that I, have put on myself. I'm all about the label. I think queer is a good word. I think it encompasses a lot, and I really want to put that out there, and I don't mind. And I've been treated well. I don't think I've been treated any differently than any other musician, pretty much.
We're here this evening at the 3rd Annual Greater Atlanta Business Coalition Awards Dinner, and we're here with John Askew, who was a founder of this group.
Well, I was one of the founders.
One of the founders, about 7 years ago?
Approximately 7 years ago.
Could you tell me how it started?
Well, a group of entrepreneurs decided that we needed a vehicle to allow us to network, to resolve problems that are unique to perhaps the gay community, but also unique to young businesses, young starting businesses. So we wanted to get together and talk about what our problems were, to try to mentor other new businesses, to take the experience that other established businesses had so that we could all move forward.
Now tonight, this is a 3rd Annual Awards Dinner, and you had Walter Schubert here tonight. Very nice, very good interview.
Well, not only was he here to speak to us about his coming out process, but he also kind of talked to us about his whole business plan.
Becky, I want to congratulate you on your
Thank
service
you.
award this evening. That's
Thank
wonderful,
you.
wonderful
I
work
was
for
so
you.
excited. I actually didn't know anything about it, and I was really thrilled with the fact that so many new people had won awards and really gained some visibility in our marketplace, and to be recognized as well with that was very, very honoring. So that was cool.
That's
Thank
wonderful.
You for that.
Wonderful.
Great. Thanks.
The featured speaker at this year's Gay Buck Awards dinner was Walter Schubert, the founder, president, and CEO of the Gay Financial Network. Walter spoke eloquently about his life and the challenges involved with being one of the first openly gay members of the New York Stock Exchange.
Can you tell us a little bit about GFN and what services they offer?
GFN is a all-encompassing financial portal. I look to bring all of the financial products and services and a rich content base under one URL, under one address. And hopefully at the end of the day, as we aggregate larger and larger numbers, we'll be able to provide great deals for the members of the GFN.com community. Not just that they're being presented in a gay-friendly and a gay-sensible way, but also that they're good deals no matter whether you're gay or straight.
I saw some interesting articles on your website. There were a couple about coming out in the corporate world. So it seems like you're reaching far beyond just a financial aspect.
I think that your financial health, your financial well-being touches upon your life in general as a human being, and I don't believe that you'll ever be able to achieve the financial security or your full investment potential unless you are addressing all of who you are. So coming out, as I was saying earlier, is part of that process that calls upon us to go within and seek all the parts of ourselves. So finance is one part, but we can't ignore the other parts of ourselves.
Club 1, voted Savannah's #1 dance club. At 1 Jefferson Street, downtown Savannah. Come see us. We're hot.
You're joining us on Burkhart's Fabulous Patio, where every Thursday night we're going to be having OutTV at Atlanta night, and you can view the show as it airs.
We'll have lots of things to give away, some trips,
some t-shirts,
and some door prizes and much more.
We'll look for a new guest host, so be there.
And what about next week's show?
Next week we go to the Atlanta Executive Network and talk to Billy Bean, who's a Major League Baseball player.
That'll be really nice. And then Rob and I are going to take you to the opera.
Yes, we've got Couth.
Yes, we do.
We'll also go to the Legacy Foundation's Uncommon Party for Uncommon Women.
And be sure to tell your friends about OutTV Savannah and watch for us in other markets around the state. So stay tuned now for the next show, which is last week's show airing right now.
Take care.
Stick around.
Bye.
Bye.